Hello, you hottie hot hotties. Welcome to Wild&T with Tara, Tony.
Teddy.
And Tawny. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. So today we kind of want to talk just a little bit about New Year's.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! 2024 coming in.
Oof.
What is that thing I feel like I've been seeing a lot of where it's like the videos of people who are calling and the phone's ringing and they're like me calling God to make sure that I'm signed up for the blessings and like whatever package instead of the trials and tribulations package.
That's real.
How I'm feeling for this year.
I never get on the list.
For the blessing package. Maybe you should call then. Get that number and call.
So in our family, New Year's, we're big holiday people. I feel like for a lot of the holidays, mom would go as far as dyeing the milk the color of the holiday. So luckily New Year's doesn't really have a color. So we don't have to worry about that.
Luckily for Tara, some of us loved it.
But yeah, it was always pretty chill for us. I mean, I remember Dad would throw a firework and then
firework.
It was a firework. We'd all stand there in the cold waiting for it to be exactly when Dad could throw his firework.
Maybe if we waited 5 minutes and no cop showed up, there would be a second.
And then, drink our sparkling cider, say Happy New Year's, and go to bed. But one thing that we did always do is we always had our church dances, our New Year's dances that we would go to.
Oh my gosh.
Discuss. Unload maybe is a better word.
So we would end up, we started a tradition where we would go to our grandparents' house for New Year's in New Mexico. And that's where we spent a lot of our New Year's and my coming of age New Year's. And so I went to.
Why did you have to unlock these
You're
memories? I wasn't ready for these ones.
I thought that's what we were talking about. Why? I thought that's where this came about. I'm trying to give the origin story.
You guys are so dramatic. Like I was just telling Malachi about that dance, Tony. Oh my gosh.
That was the most awkward dance ever. First of all, don't get into it. Yeah. Hold on. Let me start. Let me lay the foundation of these experiences, right? So we all have cousins our age that lived there. And, our parents are always trying to get rid of us whenever we're visiting our cousins. And so our uncle will take a group of us to go to the dance. And this was, I think, one of my first dances there, and it was for New Year's. And we go, and I'm probably, I don't even know, 15, 16, who knows. And it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun young adult dance. Is that what you call them? Young adult dance I've ever been to. So then I get home, and I tell Tony, I was like, oh my gosh, it'll be so great when you get to go. These are so fun. It was like the best dance I've ever been to. So I must have been 14 or 15 if you hadn't gone that year. And then like the next year you would have, or the next time we went, I'm pretty sure it's the next year is when you went. And everybody after this, Eddie was old enough to go to. So that was the only one I ever went to. The only one. It was enough. So after this ends up being a traumatic experiences of New Year's Eve dances for the rest of them. Well, first of all, we are from California, and our grandparents lived in New Mexico. And in California, people dance, and people like to dance, and it was very much a thing to dance. And then we get to this New Year's Eve dance in New Mexico, and we're excited. We're looking cute because, that's what you do. You dress up for the New Year's Eve dance, and we were looking cute, and everybody was just like, yeah, it's just like, kind of casual. And we're just like, that's weird. But we went cute.
Yeah, because Tara, okay, it was definitely like our older siblings' fault because they always like it wasn't just you, Tara, it was like Robbie, and you guys would just hype up about how like epic these dances were, and we're like, yeah, like we're ready for an epic experience. And, wow, it was memorable for sure. It has haunted me.
Teddy got the most of it because we get there and nobody is dancing. Everybody's like lining the walls. It's like a middle school dance status. Like people are on the walls. And we're just like looking around like, why is somebody dancing? And so like this song comes on, what was it? Party in the USA. Teddy and I are like, you know what, this is nonsense. We're gonna go dance because you can't not dance to this song. And we were out there dancing alone.
It was just the two of us. It was just the two of us. And then these other two guys come up to us and are like dancing. Have you seen like when Ken like goes into with Barbie? Like that's like the same kind of vibe with the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and you know, we're not trying to be rude. And so we were like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. Eventually we get like our cousins' friends to get a little bit more into it with us.
To kind of get into a circle or like a little group. A little bit of movement, just not like us.
Yeah, and then they had like some games on how to trick people into dancing with each other when it came to like slow dances.
What?
So
like put your shoe in like a line in the middle and somebody grabs your shoe and then you have to find the person.
Yeah, all the guys had to like take off one shoe and like the girl has to go pick up a random shoe and then whoever shoe that belongs to, that's your partner for the slow dance. And when that game came about, that's when Tony and I bowed out to the hallway to like breathe, get water, whatever.
Because we'd been dancing.
we were sweating, we were having a good time. And then one of the guys that like had initially come up and was dancing with us, he was just like so scary. He was very scary. And when we first walked in, they had like this little piece of paper that you're supposed to write your number on. They put it in a balloon, then they blow it up, and then people like pop the balloon for one of the other games, and whatever numbers on that piece of paper you like text, and that's like your partner or whatever. So we were like dancing in a circle with our cousin and with their friends, and then this dude is like walking behind, I think it was like behind you, Tony, because you didn't see. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see him. I just remember you being super freaked out because he was like creeping around.
Like through his eyebrows, kind of psycho look. And while he's like giving me this look, he kicks over this balloon, and I was like, if his number is in that balloon, I will die. It was so scary. He gave me this look like he was going to eat me, and I was really scared. And I was like 14. So anyways, yeah, it was not the best experience for New Year's dance, and I don't know why, but we still kept going to New Year's Eve dances after this, like every year, because we just thought it would be fun, and it never was as fun as like what our parents did, which was play games with other adults.
True. It was way more fun at home after that, for sure. You really can appreciate a New Year celebration after you've been through crappy ones.
Yes. Turns out I really love me some New Year's Eve karaoke. That's like one of the funnest things.
There's a reason we don't really do a lot with New Year's. And along those lines too are the resolutions, which are, of course, really popular. It's New Year, new me.
Making these tweets and Facebook posts about New Year, new me.
New whenever you're deciding on that year. So I think the general consensus for us is we don't typically set those New Year's resolutions. Personally, I feel pressured. And I don't like being forced into something.
It is a huge pressure.
Yeah. I don't like being forced into something because, you know, it's just I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like being forced into something. And I'm like, if you're gonna tell me what to do and it's myself telling me, then I'm not gonna do it because you told me that. So I don't know. It's a problem. But
I remember mom like trying to make us do these lists and we'd have to like list out like 5 things for the year. And I was like, 5 things is so many.
It was usually like clean my room.
Yeah.
Be nice to my
slippers every day. Something like that.
Yeah, I feel like one of the more popular ones too, and one of the ones that kind of bothers me a little bit is, you know, every year people always say, I'm going to start working out more. And as somebody that does go to the gym regularly, it's frustrating because you get there and you're like, who are these people taking my machines and
why is everybody on my machine?
Yeah, that's mine. And so I just feel like I wait around, you know, for when they're going to stop and when they're just going to give up and go home. Because I'm like, you know, you're going to do it. And that's a terrible mindset. I apologize to all the people that do and don't. Okay. But that's just me. This is my gym. Okay. Get out.
Connie's like, it's okay. I'll just wait for you to give up. It's fine.
I'll be here just seeing how many of you drop.
I'll be back once you give up.
And on that note, actually, apparently there is something called Quitter's Day.
Tell us the day. How far after the New Year's is it?
So Quitter's Day is actually the second Friday in January. So it's that day for everybody who set their resolutions and already have not stuck to it.
I love that it's a Friday because they're like, okay, we've made it 2 weeks. We're going to really treat ourselves this weekend. And then it's like, no more. Turns out I just like treating myself and not doing the thing.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like most things is like, okay, it's Monday. I'm going to start today. So by Friday, they're like, you've had 2 weeks. You didn't even start. Just give up now.
So for 2024, the quit day will be the 12th.
That second Friday, yeah.
That is like so short. So short. 12 days.
That I'm sure I will last. So.
I think by then you just know. By then you know.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point. You know, if you've made a resolution and you've only made it 12 days, it just wasn't the resolution for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you haven't started within those 12 days.
Yeah.
Still not the resolution for you.
Gives you enough time to decide. Yeah, apparently a lot of people really like the tradition. And then some people are like, it's just a waste of time because by mid-March, you're done with it anyway. So
brilliant business idea. Maybe I'll make this my New Year's resolution. Is having like New Year's resolution pop-up gyms only for people who don't work out. And so at the beginning of the year, you just have them sign up for this gym that's open for like a couple of months of the year.
That is amazing.
And by then they can decide. That's actually genius. And you know what? You know those challenges where you like pay into it and then whoever like lost the most weight gets like the jackpot. It could be something like that too. Whoever stuck around for those few months and went,
whoever signed up for a real membership somewhere else. Yeah, gets the jackpot.
Gets it like free for a year or something. I don't know, but
like a stepping stone into a real solid gym membership, basically.
I love that. And that relieves everybody else who are regular gym goers. That's pretty amazing. And then you don't feel the pressure as much because you're like, okay, this
because you know that everyone else working out at that gym also just started.
So. Yeah. That's pretty. I love that idea. That's so funny.
Should we call them the Wild&T gyms?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why, but New Year resolutions were it just made you feel terrible. Like even before you started the resolution, if you had that idea in mind, I don't know, it just was never fun or enjoyable. I think I've only done one resolution in like the last 10 years, and that was to brush my hair more consistently because it got to a point where it was real bad. And I was like, Okay, ha. Like now it's a joke each time. You're like, I'll just make it a New Year resolution. And it becomes a joke more than anything serious.
And how's that going for you?
The year I did it, I was doing really well.
It
It was like 3 years ago, and I was doing really well.
I feel like for me, with New Year's resolutions, winter is so dead, and like it remains dead for a few more months, and so it's so hard to find to get out of seasonal depression and to be motivated because it's cold, everything's dead, and like that's something that I've always just had a harder time with because you really, really have to be a self-motivated person. But if you're already a self-motivated person, then you don't really need resolutions, right? So because you're already doing everything that you want to do.
It's just like a way to give yourself a gold star for something you know you're gonna accomplish anyway.
So like for me, I make my yearly goals on my birthday is what I do because that's my new year. So
I like that.
So New Year's resolutions, it's just like, buckle in for the next year, Teddy. Like that's it.
And Teddy's like exactly 6 months into the year. So she's like, sounds like the next 6 months we'll get this accomplished. That's cheating.
You should have thought of that before you were born in a different month.
So some of the most common New Year's resolutions, of course we get like lose weight, eat healthier, drink more water, exercise more, spend time with family, save is a really big one. Get more sleep. I don't really know how people can give that resolution. That's never gonna happen.
Get more sleep.
You have to like give up like half of your life in order to get more sleep.
Go into a coma.
I get one good day a month where I have absolutely nothing to do on that day, and you bet I have become one with the bed or the couch that day. That is my getting more sleep.
Mm-hmm. It's literally like focusing in to knowing the day that you are not responsible for anything else, and you don't have to do anything. And it's really hard to do things if you've already made that choice.
And legitimately, I will look at my schedule and be like, okay, I'm off this day. Oh, but I have all these things I need to do. Okay. Well, I'm off again in 2 weeks. That's the day I'm going to rest.
Yeah. Yep.
So for the most popular, I guess, out of that list, if each one of us were a New Year's resolution, who would be which resolution?
I think my resolution is always to travel more. I think the resolution I'll do for this year is specifically to travel Michigan because I have done zero of that since living here, and I feel like I'm not doing my job correctly by living here.
So that would be, as if you were a resolution, yours would be to travel more.
Yeah, I would say Tawny's is to sleep just because you get up so early for your job.
Getting up at 3 a.m. tomorrow.
I feel like Teddy gives me like learn a new skill vibes. Yeah.
I was seriously considering setting that one as mine. So, okay. I feel like we're all quit smoking because we're so dang hot.
Oh my gosh. I was wondering where you're going to go with that. I was like, so no more hottie intro. You have to change it. Wild&T is quit smoking. No more hottie.
Tony, I feel like yours is self-care just because you're always at the beach, and that just embodies self-care to me.
Enjoy that.
Or with your plans. You have your plans.
I hope you make it to quit day.
Tawny is get organized.
Never.
Refuse.
I get a planner every single year, and every single year I only use it for the first month.
Wow. That's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I'll occasionally, like a few months down the road, I'll be like, oh, I have a busy schedule this week. I have a planner. And then I'll write it down. And I have specific pens with different colors that I use to color code. And so I'll write all of like my schedule or whatever I know I'm doing for as long as I can. I'll put birthdays, anniversaries, special events in there, and then I never look at it again.
Oh my gosh. I literally like put my schedule in like 5 different places. Like that's how much schedule keeping I do. I can find my schedule in 5 different places. If my phone's not there, my planner's there. If my planner's not there, a random note is there. If I'm not by that note, there's a calendar.
It's giving setting multiple alarms like 2 minutes apart.
That's only on really rough mornings.
I definitely don't use a planner for events because I don't go places. But my calendar, I learned that when I am tracking astrological events, that a planner really helps.
I even did that last year. I put down astrological events in my planner last year.
That's pretty cool.
But I couldn't find them for this year for some reason, like the same I had last year. I don't know.
That and budget planning. That's actually my like New Year's resolution. I put that in quotes because it's something that I was already planning on doing. It just happens to coincide with the new year because I got a new job and like I'm going to start having money. So I'm like, okay, I want to start doing this thing called cash stuffing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but like I am obsessed and I watch all of these videos on it. It's literally just like they have like these little like binder books with like envelopes and you just like put the cash in it for different
Oh
things.
yeah, Mom.
Oh,
That was
yeah, I
Mom's
have heard of
favorite
that.
one to teach us when we all first started budgeting. I hate it because I don't like cash.
Yeah.
But it's like it's different. It's different because it's not necessarily like to spend necessarily. It can be like to save or to like get a month ahead on bills or like stuff like that. And so like yeah, and I'm the opposite. I love the cash moving through my fingers.
Yeah,
I have a
I'm
version
I'm
of
excited
that
about
in
it.
my
It's really
account.
mine.
Like I have separate accounts for separate things. So I guess I kind of
Yeah.
do a version of that, just not cash.
I literally, if I ever have cash, like I have a $5 sitting in my wallet that's been there for 2 months. Like I don't like cash that much that I won't even like touch it. It like annoys me to even like be there.
There's something about it where you're like, I can't let go.
Yeah. You're like, it's sitting there, I guess, for an emergency that will cost $5.
See, I do like to pull cash out every single time I get paid just to have it because inevitably I need it for something. But you know, like girl math too is like for me, I'm like saving that $20 bill for when I don't have the money in my account, but I want to spend it on something. So I got this $20 bill because technically I've got the money then.
It actually bugs me to go to the farmer's market and there'll be like a cash only stand. And I'm like, well, I never know how much cash to keep on hand. And I'm always short. I'm like, oh, it's $12 and I only have a $10 bill. Like, you're joking, right? Can you just give me, if I pay you cash, can it be $10 like a discount, you know?
Haggling.
Yeah.
I can see you being one of those people out there has nothing, or you're like, I don't know how much to bring, so you have like $1,000 in cash.
Yeah, that's what would happen because you never know how much to have on hand.
In mixed bills too, because you don't know what they're gonna take.
Yeah.
For any change.
I'm like all ones. Here you go. But I always keep like quarters because I'm like, in case I drive by a lemonade stand, you know, that's the only thing.
All right. Well, that is the sisters on New Year's resolutions and New Year's in general. We've had a little bit of trauma, but we're working through it.
New Year, yes. New Year, new you.
Good luck next year, everyone.
Oh yeah. And make it to Quitters Day, guys. You can do it. Just 2 weeks, right? Make it to
12
Quitters
days.
Day.
12 days. We believe in you.
Absolutely.
Thursday is a holiday too.
It should be a recognized holiday now.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to Wild&T. This podcast episode was produced and edited by Teddy Chanpoon, Kyron Maciel, and Dallas Hanson. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, and of course, share with your sisters. For more content, you can follow Wild&T on all platforms or our individual socials. See you next week.